Flower Farm. I wanted to show you today on today's live. This is usually like a little couple minutes every Saturday afternoon, um, showing what's happening here at the farm here in beautiful Mexico, New York. And as you can imagine, there's lots of things going on in my old barn. There are squirrels up in there. There's dried flowers that I have to sorry, I keep looking over here because the deer just went running through the woods. Um, there's a raccoon family living in there. As you can see the tent sticking out of my old chicken door over there. Let's see. See that? That's a tent coming out of my old chicken door. Apparently the raccoon that lives in there wanted to go camping this winter. So I got to take care of that today. That's not what's in bloom though. Actually what's in bloom is a George. George, my cat, is here. And as always, if you're new to this channel, all my videos are always on the fly. They're they're pretty much unentered, scripted as it happens as I walk through the farm. Today I'm in the back. This is my farm in Mexico, New York. I have my coffee, and the snow is finally not so deep that I can walk out to the back field. I've been waiting to do this for weeks. We had a little thaw here, and then we had um, a bunch of snow happen. So I don't never, if you're a gardener or a flower farmer, do your very best to not ever walk on damp, wet soil. It compacts your soil, squishes. You literally are squishing out the micro life that lives there. All the good little things that make your plants grow. So don't walk on your wet soil. Anyway, I thought that we could go out and out to the field and see what's in bloom for some giggles. So we had about 8 inches of snowfall, and I'm actually going to put my coffee down over here because I'm going to drop this camera thing. Here we go. And I thought it would be fun to show you what's in bloom here at the flower farm right now. So you're going to have to use your imagination a little bit. But when I stand here, I can see what is going to be for next year because I didn't cut anything. I never cut anything back, ever. Mother Nature knocks it all back, puts it into the soil, feeds the birds, gives bees places to hide in the stalk. So I don't even cut down my zinnias. Oh, probably not until, I probably won't cut those down until late April. And even then I'll leave some stumps or stalks on there. So let me show you the back field today. This is the northern part of my 4 acres, and I'm going to show you. There we go. There we go. This is the back field. Welcome, friends, to where all the fun happens. Well, most of the fun. Hi, George. George is very disgruntled. He's my cat. He's my supervisor. It tells me what to do. Literally tells me what to do. So, what are you looking at? I mean, looks like there's nothing out here except for snow and puddles. Yes, snow and puddles. So we're going to walk because there's snow. I'm not going to be compacting my soil. I'm not going to go in here and start walking around and cleaning things up. No, we're going to leave it alone. Minimal walking back here. So you can see where the water, the ice is melting. Over there. It's going to go in the soil and leave it alone. This patch right here. Now, okay. I'm excited because I haven't been out in a few days. Except for yesterday. I did go up north to bring some wonderful wool pots up to Messina. Anyway. So, what are you looking at? What you're seeing is my flower field in winter without 6 to 8, possibly 10 feet of snow in it. It's finally short enough where you can see that where the rows are. You couldn't see this before. Before, all you could see were the tops of those anise hyssop over there. That's how much snow we had here this winter here in Mexico, New York. You can hear the cardinals singing. They know it's spring. This is only going to be for a few more weeks, this cold snap. And then we're going to be leaping right into spring, I think. Anyway, so let's go see what you're looking at. So these two rows here, right here and here, these are wild bergamot. The entire row is nothing but wild bergamot. This spring, I have to dig up these plants and separate them so that I'll get more flowers for the pollinators and birds. And some of these plants are like 3 years old. So a few of them will be going into my native blooms boxes, which is very rare that I let a 3-year-old plant go on this farm. But they are ready and they have lots of babies under the snow. See that? The birds have been out here eating these. They usually eat these in the fall. But I'm going to just leave. I'm not going to cut any of this back. Let's see if they'll come into focus for us. I'm not going to cut any of these back because in these stems, see a little hollow right there? These stems are going to support the plants and the blooms because look how tall they are. I mean, these are easily, I'm 5 foot on a good day. And these are easily 3.5 feet tall stems. So when we get winds, you can imagine that these blooms are just everywhere. So to make it easier on the plant, I will only cut down to there and I'll leave the rest for the bees. I don't put the stems in my compost. I just lay them flat. And that's how I do that. So let's see. So I know that sometimes it's nice to see a face. I was out in the barn working, so I'm not dressed for this. This is as it happens. So in this patch of wild bergamot, I'm going to come out in the spring before the plants actually start to bloom and leaf out. I'm going to come out and dig them up, separate them, and then there's probably a good 150 easy, just in this small patch alone here, 150 wild bergamot plants. They're going to go over there along the berm. And my plan is to control, or at least inhibit, the goldenrod. I have Canadian goldenrod, which is a party doll. She just loves to go everywhere and meet everyone. And it overcompetes the meadow. So I'm going to build a berm right along that edge right there to make like a buffer so that those roots of the goldenrod, because you want goldenrod for the pollinators in the fall. It's a very, very important plant and bloom for fall, for pollinators and birds before winter sets in. It's a crucial thing to have in your garden. And there's wonderful goldenrods, native goldenrods that grow smaller and they're not as aggressive, that are great for small gardens or containers. I actually have some zigzag goldenrod in a container. It's gorgeous, just gorgeous. So you're probably wondering also, what are those stakes? So let's go over and look at these stakes real quick. We'll hop over. Oh, wait, hold on. Let's go meet this friend. Okay, hold on. Ooh, la, la. This beautiful, tall friend. Now, I am, like I said, I am 5 feet tall. These things, let me show you how tall these are. This is kind of kooky. Wait till you see this. So these stems, look how tall this is. I'm 5 foot on a good day. And this is just incredible. Look at that. Look at those beautiful seed pods. Oh, I may have to pick some for an arrangement, but they are loaded. There's one that's even taller. This thing, I'm going to have to measure it. Come out with a measuring stick, because look, I have to raise the this up so you can see it better. Look at those beautiful. Oh, they were magnificent. Anyway, this beautiful plant is actually, this is giant hyssop. As you can see how tall it is. And the birds feasted on these all winter. And out here in the field, it was literally the only thing that you could see was those stalks of giant hyssop. We have more Monarda back here. And then, oh, look. Okay, here's the secret that nobody knows. Are you ready for a secret? Here is my secret. The little green stumps that you see here, These allow me to grow more native plants. They pay for my compost that I use so that there's no peat in there, in the pots, in the wool pots or the burlap. These are the moneymaker on the farm right here. There's 3 beds now. These are all bearded iris under the snow. There's Gilded Edge, which is a blue one. There's lots of white for a local florist. But these were planted in July. So every July, I order more from Shriners and Ripple Effect Iris Farm. I plant them out, and then in July, when I do those orders, I let you add some to them. So these are absolutely beautiful. And I do have some videos of those on my Instagram that you can see. The other thing that's out here that is pretty cool. Now, if you are familiar with my website, lazydirtflowerfarm.com, and you've been to my blog, you know that the keystone of my farm is a 60-foot pine tree that fell a few years ago in a storm. And it is actually right across, it's up there in the meadow. It's laying right across, right up over there, way over there. And that pine tree is a keystone, and I cried when it fell. It was such a beautiful white pine. A couple years later, I found this little guy next to the house. He had grown from a pine cone from my beautiful white pine tree. And so his name is Henry. He's out here. He's got a couple nibbles, as you can see, but he's all right. You're all right, pal. And he is going to grow, and he is out here in the corner where, heaven forbid, a mower, somebody with a mower who doesn't know what they're doing, won't hit him because he is just absolutely adorable. He's actually kind of short. He's about 2.5 feet tall. But I found him from a little pine cone from that old tree right next to the house. I scooped him up and put him out here, and so far he's doing pretty good. So we'll see what he looks like, in like 10 years. He should be magnificent. Oh, look, somebody has been traveling in the garden. Look, they went this way. They went over there. I wonder who that was. Probably a little mouse. He's probably over here nibbling on seeds and things to stay warm. This is the zinnia patch. It is also where I put sky blue asters are in here. And to keep the deer out, I use these. These are conduit wire. And in the spring, I'll come out and I'll make them all zigzaggy. And that way the deer won't come in here and eat the sky blue asters. There's also some Monarda in there and clustered mountain mint. Excuse me. Because the scent of mint kind of tries to keep the deer out. Now, if you're in the city, my little thing here, if you are in the city, like in Syracuse, I have friends who live in Syracuse, the deer there are punks. They're absolute punks. They have no respect for anything. They eat anything. They don't care if there's mountain mint nearby. But my deer out here in Mexico, New York, have got all this. They have a lot of things to forage. But they do come in here, as you can see from poor Henry, who's been nibbled on over there. They have been known to nibble on things. So what I do is I grow enough. I grow a lot of plants, like the sky blue asters here. I grow like 200 because not only am I sharing them with you, but I'm also using them for flowers. And I want to make sure that when I put out seedlings every year, I have some extra. I always have extra up in little wool pots up in the house, so that if the deer come out one night and say they munch all my sky blue asters here, I have extra. I have extra that I can grow out in terracotta pots over the summer. They make beautiful container gardens. And then by the time fall comes, those plants are so big and they're bitter, so the deer leave them alone. And then they have the winter to get established, and then they do go much better, much better. But that's what I use to keep the deer out, is anything that they, they're like a horse. A horse likes to know where its feet are going to go, so don't we. We don't want to trip over anything. Deer are the same thing. Well, at least it works for me. You can have a lot of deer problems, but like I said, depending where you live, if you live out in the suburbs, you have punk deer. There's only one way to call them. They are punks. Um, what else is blooming out here today? Let's see. Like I said in the beginning, you really have to kind of imagine what this looks like. During the season, the native sunflowers and zinnias that are here are like this tall. And if you go to my website or other YouTube videos on my channel here, you will see that what this garden looks like, what this field looks like. It's going to change a little bit this year because this year I have a lot more plants. I spent, my friend Katie and Andrew had come over and we planted this whole bed. Andrew had tilled it for me and we got to planting and irises, and I planted a ton. There's at least from this corner over here all the way over here, there's at least 500 baby native plants, different things. I can't tell you what they are because I'm going to show you. I'll show you real quick. I have a map inside the house. Always make a map of your garden. But you can see, who did I plant here? Let's see if the marker worked. Oh, it did. Look at this. There is 200 anise hyssop babies in this row right here. But they're right back there. You can see how much snow we still have. And there's nobody under there. They're all still all dormant, and that's okay because that's still spring. So in the spring, when we get some warm weather, this is going to be, hopefully, fingers crossed, absolutely gorgeous. You can hear the cardinals. Aren't they lovely? And there's a whole other bed right there. So many native plants are going to be coming, and I'm going to be able to share them in your gardens. I cannot wait to share all these plants with you. And that is what is in bloom here at Lazy Dirt Wildflower Farm on this beautiful, official first day of spring in beautiful Mexico, New York. The birds are singing. Isn't that lovely? And I hope that you will join me next Saturday on another live. Next Saturday, I will probably be sharing about soil blocking from in the barn, because it looks like we'll have some warm weather and I can get out into the barn to do soil blocking instead of at my dining room table and drive my family crazy. But this is it. This is where all the fun things happen. When I say field-grown native plants that aren't without any plastic, this is what I mean. They're all out here. They don't look like much right now. Not much is happening under the snow. There is a lot of things happening. The soil is warming up. The roots are just starting to waken and move water into the roots. Every day we get a little bit warmer, nice and slow as it should be, which is a good thing for plants instead of a rapid warm up. And it's going to be a wonderful season. I'm so excited about this season because of all the work I did in the fall, planting people out, like the wild bergamot here, is just going to be so worth it. Because like this row right here, this is all, this is more anise hyssop in this row right there, as well as some lance leaf coreopsis. Oh, it's just going to be gorgeous. Purple and yellow. You can't beat it. Purple and yellow. And the pollinators, this is where I come to watch hummingbirds. So I'll have to do a live hummingbird video next summer so you can see the field in action. But this is where everyone who wants to take pollinator photographs comes. And I hope that maybe if you're in the area, you'll stop by. Until next time, I've gone 3 minutes over my little sneak peek here. And I just want to say thank you for joining me for this little quick snippet on YouTube, live from Lazy Dirt Wildflower Farm. If you like this video and other videos on my channel, make sure you subscribe to be notified when I go live next Saturday at noon. That's the goal, is to go live no matter what I'm doing, which could be anything, friends. When I go live at noon, I just turn on the camera and we go. no script, no plan, other than to share what I'm actually doing. And today I was walking around the field, kind of checking things out a little bit and see who was awake. Nobody was awake. Everybody's under the snow sleeping, which is a good thing. To wake up on nature's time. That's why I don't have a greenhouse either, and no plastic. So I hope that you have a wonderful spring season. I hope that if you're in the area, you'll stop by and check out my farm and learn about the beauty of native plants. Until next Saturday, friends, I wish you a wonderful weekend. And hang in there. Find moments of beauty no matter where you are. Remember, you are enough. And have a great day. Mwah!